So coming back to the point which I was trying to make is that in our technique with artificial intelligence, there is no need for us to reinvest. So we do not compound anything because the cash released, as you have seen, is more than 50% a day. So if you go back to the point which I was trying to make from the technique, if you go to proposal and you take a look at the point which I'm trying to make here is in by doing that, and you will see it also on our case studies and all that the money is taken out. Why do we not compound returns in our strategy uh, and able to milk out profits every day? The time weighted returns are not what we do in traditional technique the way it is done in traditional technique. So in our club, we do not want to be on that same situation where we do traditional techniques, keep growing the funds, and all of a sudden a tsunami comes like the way it came as I have shown you on the 10 worst Dow Jones days. We lost money. So the point here is if you are able to have successful trades of over 75%, which I have demonstrated it's around 80% for December. So even if you take 70%, 75%, and your average settlement is 2 to 3 days, which means that you are rotating your investment by 4 to 5 times a month. And that results into a turnover with exponential ROI. Why? Because if you take a look at the trades, let's take a look at the report. If you notice here, and this is consistent for 20 years, you can always go back and check. If you take a look at the average percentage of settlement is 1.15. It's phenomenally high. Every trade, if it is giving you around 1.15%, that also with that velocity, it's no brainer to understand that why we are doing such high percentages every month. So the point here is that when you are able to rotate funds at that speed, there's no need for you to compound yourself and expose the money you have already made, say in 8 months, could get wiped out in few hours if a tsunami comes. So in our club, we don't do that because we have to protect, we have to have a strategy which protects the investors, which taking out the money daily or weekly, depending on the size of the portfolio, and keeping it into a bank and using the circulation of money within the portfolio is the best technique to secure returns. So if we don't do that, there is no way we can secure returns and stay away from situations like any tsunami if it comes. So having said that, why and of course if you notice at the Sharpe ratio and the drawdowns and all those stuff, then mathematically there is no reason anybody can say that no, we still need to compound returns. The technique of artificial intelligence built in into our strategy is to ensure that we withdraw that money, keep it safe, and use the circulation of the internal money which is within the portfolio to generate returns for the next day. And that's exactly what I have demonstrated on 17th and 18th. Both the days we made around 3%. But at the same time, I've also demonstrated that you can pick up any bear day, go to our trade logs, and take a snapshot of the trade logs and see what happened during that bear day. You'll notice that we are making money even that day too. Typically, in our case, I think we make more money, and I will go back to here just to demonstrate it on the performance tab. You will notice that when the markets are bear, we do better. Like on the year 2008, we made 350%. And this is happening why? Because the predictive model has the intelligence to identify which of those will be shorting that day. Now, in today's case, on January 18th, the market was bull. The 17th, the market was bull. So it did not have too many shorts. But when the market gets bear, you'll find like 60-70% of them are shorts. And out of which the success ratio is 90% or 75% also if you take it as an average. This gives you the story of our artificial intelligence coupled with precision based techniques as to why we generate such high returns. So if anybody has a question in this, feel free to get in touch with me. It is already here. If you go back to our website, you can get in touch with me. You please go through the performance proposal first and go through all the details of what I'm trying to explain here exactly as to what I'm trying to do on this video. And then you can schedule a meeting with me and try and understand a little bit more in details, because artificial intelligence is very new. There are not too many people who really understands artificial intelligence and precision based techniques. So it is very important for anybody to understand the whole concept, understand the mechanism behind it, and then try to relate what I am saying in the entire presentation so far as to how these things get stitched. So feel free to schedule a meeting with me. It will take you to uh, a URL where you can schedule 30 minutes, 15 minutes, or 1 hour. Maybe if you want to see real time trading, what is going on, you can take a 1 hour thing. But if you are already clear about what I'm trying to say, then maybe a 30-minute conversation would be also good enough. As you fill up the form, you have to choose a time, whatever time you like to pick up during the trading day. Please put your email, your name, your company name, and the phone number, and we will try to. I will try to have a meeting at that time at your convenience. But very importantly, it is important to understand the difference between traditional technique and artificial intelligence. Of course, there is nothing we are doing manually. Here, there is no human being who is deciding what are the securities to be traded. It's all coming in from a predictive model. But then, as I demonstrated, that these does not mean that it gets invested the next day. It all depends on the risk factors, the buying utilization, the buying power, the cash utilization, the strategy of cash utilization, the threshold which you are putting in, plus there are a few more techniques that whether you want to go with the volatility or not with the volatility and all those stuff is going to dictate what it is going to pick up at what time, provided based on this sorting ratio. So it will take a look into all these things within few seconds before it takes a decision to jump into the market at that point of time. So it is very important for traditional based technique, people who are into traditional technique, to understand the difference. It's a research. It is it is absolutely a research which you will not find in any of our CPA exams or anything of financial related examinations which we do. This is completely a new ball game. You have to understand what is precision, how precision leads to a situation as you start stitching all of these using artificial intelligence. So it's I will encourage all my members to understand this, but one thing I can tell you is that in the precision based technique, there is no emotion. Whether it is Google or Apple or Bank of America or Merrill Lynch, it doesn't care. It is investing 50,000, if you notice here on this column, for every trade for that first guy I spoke about. So his threshold was 50, but the other guy I think was 5,000. I cannot remember that, but whatever is your threshold, it will trade based on the threshold. no human emotions. It's so important because human emotions leads to mistakes. In this case, you will notice in performance tab, if you go to our website, the consistency for last 20 years. Why? Because of precision. So I welcome every prospects to get into artificial intelligence. As said, artificial intelligence is going to be wiping out financial market the way it is wiping out automobile industries and pharmaceutical or even medical sciences. The same would happen with artificial intelligence going forward with the financial industries. And investors' awareness of the artificial intelligence without emotions, they do far better, is a classic example here. So let's get to this. Of course, building up such artificial intelligence is not a piece of cake. It's a years and years of research and hard work which goes behind it with IT and all those stuff. But I'll be more than happy to introduce you artificial intelligence and promote it. And that's why you will see that I'm trying to promote this so that every advisors or institution gets a taste of it. I mean, if you ask me, I will never ever think of traditional technique where I'm thinking, shall I go or not go? Go, not go. That is emotion. You don't want to get into that. Technically, I don't even look into what are the stocks on the portfolio because there's no need because you know that it's completely going to work based on precision. So it's a completely a different mindset which you have to build over time. But believe me, if you're not into artificial intelligence, sooner or later, it will be a problem to remain competitive in the market. So our goal, of course, big institutions like Credit Suisse, JP Morgan, you name it, they're spending millions of dollars in building algorithms and sophisticated algorithms. Here also we have somehow managed to build a very good algorithm which is giving phenomenal results. I cannot say whether our performance is the best because I cannot have all the internal informations of all the institutions around the world. But if you know anybody beating our service, our performance with ROI and sharp ratios and all those stuff, please let me know. I will appreciate that because I need to also understand how to take this research forward and get even better. So please feel free to get in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to to walk you through, tell you about all the configurations as to what it might lead to, and then you can try it. So there is no harm trying. It's not going to cost you a penny, but you can see the difference between your own performance, between the market, and the artificial intelligence on a day-to-day basis. So please get in touch. Thank you then.